Merry Christmas. Welcome to Bloody Good Besties. My name is Shada.
I'm Gabby.
And I'm Millie.
And this is our podcast talking all true crime. Hosting seat is weird. I'm on the host seat today. I'm really excited for this story. It is going to be tough, really tough for you guys as listeners. I've tried to keep it as PG, but it's not really PG, but I will try not go into really graphic detail, but there will be bits I'll have to say because it's important to obviously share the full story.
I need my emotional support noodle.
You need the candy cane emotional support. So not a super fun one for Christmas, although I say fun, no murders is fun. Unless you're murdering the person who does it, then I would say that's fun.
Guillotine.
Comment, subscribe, like, all that sort of jazz. You know, help us out here.
I'd like to point out to a new fourth member of Bloody Good Besties in the corner.
So handsome.
Has baked us some goodies for Christmas because this will come out on Christmas.
True. He normally stands by the front door, like when you open the door and he like welcomes you with fresh goods. Super cute. TK Maxx, bargain. I think we should go straight into it. What's that thing? I hate true crime. Gab loves true crime. Millie likes true crime. I'm not doing bad for my first start.
Very good.
Straight in.
And the socks.
And the socks. Yeah, the socks is a classic.
Ketchup and fries.
Very good. Are we ready?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Good.
Yes.
Heavy trigger warning. And I would really say that if you do not like details, this probably isn't the episode to listen to, and I'm just going to be honest about that fact.
Details about what?
It can be quite gory. This is about murder. It's about assault, sexual assault. It does involve children, but like teenager children, not that makes a difference. Murder is murder. A bit of a different story, but I do have quite a lot of detail to get into. But I do think this was really hard for me to pull together. So yeah, I think we go into it. Are you excited?
I'm uncomfortable.
I'm apprehensive.
Okay, we're going to go straight into it. So also just a bit of clarity, there's quite a few names in here. So I will say the names and then it might be that you forget which one I'm talking about, but there's 5 people we're talking about in total, one being the victim. So I'm going to start with the victim.
Bad with names.
I'm going to try really hard to keep mentioning the names and we'll kind of just around it well. So the victim's name was Shanda Sharer and was born in Kentucky on the 6th of June, 1979. Her parents were divorced. Her mother then remarried and then they moved to Louisville. There she attended school, was on the cheerleading, volleyball and softball teams. In 1991, her mother then divorced again and they moved to New Albany in Indiana and then she enrolled in another school. And then early in the school year, she then moved another school. So I always think background's really important to stories. That's quite a lot of movement, quite a lot of disruption. But she joined the basketball team in this new school and seemed to be a really happy-go-lucky child. Just a general good kid. Now, background, there's 4 perpetrators. And I'm going to go into a little bit of background around this. And the reason I did this is because all of these stories, especially when we looked at like Ed Gein, there's always the same kind of background of abusive parents or something gone wrong in childhood. So I want to bring that up. And granted, it does not justify the act, but I do think it's important. Mm-hmm. So there's 2 main perpetrators and then I'd say 2 accomplices to the murder. So one is Melinda Loveless. Her name is,
says it all.
You know, like it's actually crazy. So she was born in New Albany, Indiana, which is where Shanda moved to in 1975. She was the youngest of 3 daughters to Marjorie and Larry. Larry, who's the dad, is probably a big background story to this. So he was drafted in the army. He hit the rank sergeant, which is pretty high up, and was treated as a hero upon his return. Marjorie's the wife described him as a bit of a sexual deviant who would wear her and her daughter's underwear and makeup, incapable of staying monogamous, had a very bad mix of like judgment, jealousy, and fascination with seeing the wife basically have sex with other men. So he enjoyed this sort of thing. The dad then became a probationary officer and he was fired because he basically assaulted a man who he accused of someone sleeping with his wife. So what this is indicating is he is jealous, he's possessive, he's controlling, and he's aggressive, and also creepy.
So I'm confused already. So who is he?
So one of the perpetrators. So okay. Melinda Loveless is the child, not the victim, another child involved in the murder. And this is her dad. Larry's the dad.
Okay.
of Melinda.
Okay, what I'm confused about, sorry. You said he liked watching his wife sleep around, but then assaulted someone for potentially sleeping with his wife?
So you know what I'm getting. So this guy is not okay.
It's probably like who he chose to. Yeah, like you can if I'm there and I'm choosing it, but maybe if she was doing a little hanky panky behind his back, then he maybe assaulted someone. That's what I'm getting.
Yeah, we're gonna go into this a bit more. He's a fucked up guy from what I established from here. So violent and abusive, did not share his income with the family, impulsively spent money on his like whatever he wanted. Would buy himself motorbikes, cars, firearms, but then would keep the family really tight. They filed for bankruptcy. Extended family members described their marriage as a loveless one, interestingly, because the last name is Loveless. And the daughters visiting their home, so the daughters seeing, say, the cousins or the aunties, would normally come really hungry because the dad is not spending any money on them, but buying himself a nice car or whatever he's buying. So the Loveless parents would often visit bars where Larry would pretend that he's a doctor or a dentist and introduce Marjorie, who's the mum, as his girlfriend. He would share her with some friends at work. Yeah, which she found disgusting. So she didn't enjoy this, and this is a really important part of that.
As in, like, he made her sleep with other people?
Yeah. During an orgy with another couple, so Marjorie tried to commit suicide quite a few times throughout the daughter's childhood. So remember thinking about Melinda, who's the daughter, is seeing this really messed up relationship throughout her whole childhood. So she tried to commit suicide lots of times. When Melinda was 9, Larry got Marjorie attacked by multiple men, and she tried to drown herself. She then basically refused to be with him anymore. He then attacked her.
What the hell?
Attacked, like,
physically?
Yeah, he sexually assaulted her. And the daughters overheard this event. And one time she basically said no again and beat Marjorie so severely that she was hospitalized and he was convicted of battery. The extent, obviously, of the abuse is unclear. Some kids came forward, some kids didn't during the trial. But we do know that there was some claims of molestation from Larry and the children and the kids.
God.
Melinda herself didn't admit this ever happened to her. Whether that's the case or not, obviously we don't know, but she said it didn't. She did say she slept in bed with him until she was about 14. And there was incidents where the dad tied up the sisters and did some horrible things.
Sorry, tied up?
Yeah, like tied them up.
And she witnessed this.
She was part of this. But then didn't confess to certain bits. So again, I try not to go into the details. Obviously, I did go into some details, but get the gist of the idea. This man is horrible. That is a really messed up childhood for her. She's seeing abuse, control, jealousy, all of the wrong things you want to introduce into a child's life. So that is Melinda Loveless, yeah? First one. Then you have someone called Lori Tackett. So Lori was born in Madison, Indiana in 1974. She claimed that she was molested at least twice as a child at the ages of 5 and 12. And after a confrontation with her mum basically attempted to strangle her. So again, think about childhood upbringing, really horrible upbringing. Her mum tried to strangle her, and she was not molested by her mum, but by somebody else. So really bad first impressions. She then became incredibly rebellious after her 15th birthday and became fascinated with the occult. So this, from what I'm understanding, is like this like demon, devil, vampire, weird,
probably like witchcraft
shit. Yeah, like proper ritual. So you know, like the Ouija board. Her dad bought her and her friends an Ouija board.
Why?
And they got super obsessed with the Ouija board. Fuck knows, right? So she would always try to impress her friends by pretending to be possessed by the spirit of Diana the vampire. So not cool. And she began to self-harm quite a lot, was hospitalized loads of times for this. So where she cut so deep, she had to go into hospital. And she was also put in the psych ward at some stage of her life when she was young as well. Laura was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder and said that she experienced hallucinations since she was a young child. She dropped out of high school, and then at that point she became friends with Melinda, who's obviously the first perpetrator, and they basically spent all of their time together. So they're besties, they're super, super close, and as you can imagine, super fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? All into this weird dragon slayer stuff, or like
trauma buddies.
Right. Then you have two other, and obviously still perpetrators, but I'd say less involved than the other two. The Melinda and Laurie are probably your main two, but still just as bad as each other. So one was Hope Ripey, who was born in Madison in 1976. She said that living in her family was quite turbulent and that her parents were a bad influence. She was friends with Laurie and the girl we're going to talk about later. So Laurie was her friend. She didn't know Melinda, but she knew Laurie, the girl we just spoke about. And like the other girls, she also became to self-harm. Bad friends, bad influences. Hope's parents didn't like Laurie and thought she was a really bad influence, but it is what it is. So we've got Melinda, we've got Laurie, and we've got Hope so far. Last girl is Toni Lawrence. So Toni, who is friends with Hope as well, was born in Madison. She was close friends of Hope Ripey from childhood. She was abused by a relative at the age of 9 and assaulted by a teenage boy at the age of 14. And she also began to self-harm and attempted suicide in 8th grade. So,
God, all those kids are really troubled.
correct.
Like, how can you go through so much as a kid? So they're in high school, so they're like early teens.
They're children, yeah. So they're currently like in this, obviously, teenagers. But I think that bit is really important because it doesn't explain, but at least they're messed up.
It gives context to their behaviour.
Correct.
Not
Do whatever they're gonna do.
not an excuse, but it's context behind the behaviour.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just quick reminder, Belinda Lovelace, is the first one, Laurie Tackett, Hope Ripey, and Toni Lawrence. So in 1990, a 15-year-old, Melinda Lovelace, began dating a 13-year-old named Amanda. So same-sex couple. After Melinda's father left the family and her mother remarried, so again, dad's gone, not ideal, Melinda began behaving increasingly erratic. She got into fights in school and reported being depressed, resulting in her receiving professional counselling. In 1991, Melinda came out to her mother as a lesbian, and as the year progressed, Melinda's relationship with Amanda deteriorated. So Melinda Lovelace was in a relationship with a girl called Amanda.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, love this girl, Amanda, but they broke up. Amanda then met Shanda Sharer, who is the victim of this crime, early in the fall semester in the middle school, where they became friends after having a fight in school. They then just became friends after. They then later exchanged romantic letters, and Melinda grew jealous of Amanda and Shanda's close friendship. In early October 1991, Amanda took Shanda as a date to a school dance, where Melinda found out and confronted Shanda. So again, bit of background. Amanda's the girl. Shanda's now dating Amanda, but that was Melinda's ex. Mm-hmm. So drama. After Amanda and Shanda attended a festival together, Melinda began discussing killing Shanda and threatened her in public. Concerns about the effects of their daughter's relationship with Amanda, Shanda's parents arranged for her to be transferred to a Catholic school. So again, poor Shanda's got to move again.
And it's also like, first of all, what the hell? What do you mean? They just planned or decided to kill someone because they didn't like someone. In my school, if I didn't like someone, I just called him a dickhead.
But obviously,
I didn't try to kill someone.
But then this is what I'm trying to say about her background. Any bit of the wife, think of the mum who did something else, and it's just chaotic. She's brought up with this jealousy of control. You're mine. You can't be anyone else's. Super messed up. These kids are already messed up anyway.
I'm more concerned about Shanda's parents were like, moved her to the school because of what? Because she was lesbian. They didn't like.
No. They moved her because she was getting death threats from Melinda.
Nothing to do with Melinda. Nothing to do with Amanda.
No. That was fine. That was accepted.
They sent her to a Catholic school.
Yeah. Anyway.
Sorry.
Like, that's going to help you.
Anyway. This next bit is the bit that actually might set you off a bit. A little bit, but let's see. So Amanda later claimed that she gave the letters Melinda sent her containing death threats towards Shanda to a youth prosecutor. But the youth prosecutor never did anything with it as far as she knew. So this, again, the preventive bit, granted necessarily would have prevented, but nothing came to light. And I think that's a really important part of this.
They probably just didn't think it was serious. They probably thought like teenage girls just saying like F you and I'm gonna kill you.
Stupid girl drama, right?
Yeah, I'm not getting involved in bitchy drama.
So on the night of 10th of January 1992, so Toni was age 15, Hope is age 15, Laurie is 17, So they drove in Lauren's car from Melinda Lovelace's house. Hope and Tony had never actually met Melinda. And this is, bear in mind, we know what's going to happen. We know there's a murder. They've not met this girl, which I find crazy.
So they don't go to the same school?
No, they just know each other. But no one knows Melinda apart from Laurie. And Melinda is 16. So these are teens. So upon arrival, they borrowed some clothes from Melinda, and she showed them a knife. She was just going to scare Shanda with it. Whilst the three girls have never actually met Shanda prior to this event, Laurie knew the plan to murder the 12-year-old girl. Melinda expressed to the two girls that she disliked Shanda for being a copycat and for stealing her girlfriend. Melinda instructed Hope and Tony to go to the door and introduce themselves as friend of Amanda, and they asked Shanda to come with them to see Amanda. So they went to the door, knocked and said, "Hey, I'm friends of Amanda," who's this girl's like love connection. She wants to see, come with us. And they basically wanted to go and see like a witch's nest or something, which is like an abandoned building. Shanda was reluctant to go out, told them she had a party to attend, and suggested the girls came back later. So that basically the girls went, fine, they left, went to a punk rock show, and then basically came back for Shanda's house at around midnight. So Shanda's parents are now in bed. During the ride, Melinda said that she could not wait to kill Shanda. However, she also just intended to use the knife to frighten her, which I find really strange and controversial. I don't get, you're going to do it, you're not going to do it, don't know. So when they arrive at the house, this is now 12:30, Melinda hid under a blanket in the backseat of the car with a knife. Obviously, Shanda comes out. So Shanda goes, fine, let's go to meet Amanda. Amanda's still waiting for you. Bear in mind, we have no idea that Melinda is in the car. So as they all got in the car, Hope began asking Shanda questions about her relationship with Amanda. Melinda then sprang out of the back seat, put the knife to Shanda's throat, and began interrogating her about the sexual relationship with Amanda. They drove towards the witch's castle, which is again just an abandoned like rock area. And Laurie told the girls that a local legend said the castle was once owned by 9 witches, and the town people burned the house to get rid of the witches. At Witch's Castle, they took, obviously crying her eyes out, poor girl Shanda, who's terrified. They bound her legs with rope, arms and legs with rope. Melinda then taunted her, saying she had pretty hair and wondered how she'd look if they were to cut it off. At some point in this, Hope took Shanda's Mickey Mouse watch, and I just think Mickey Mouse watch, like this girl is
12.
Young at heart, right? Not that it matters at age, but just messed up.
Yeah.
Took her Mickey Mouse watch and danced to the tune it played. So they're really getting into her head mentally, yeah? She's terrified. Laurie further taunted Shanda, claiming that the witch's castle was filled with human remains and she would be next. To further threaten Shanda, she retrieved a shirt with a smiley face on it and lit it on fire. But basically, they were worried that the fire might be spotted by other people, so they put her back in the car and drove off to another location. So they went into like this forested area and this abandoned building and took her back out then. Melinda beat Shanda with her fists and repeatedly slammed Shanda's face into her knee, which cut Shanda's mouth with her own braces. Melinda tried...
With her own braces? That must have hurt so bad.
I know. Poor girl, petrified at this point. Melinda tried to slap Shanda's throat, but the knife was too dull. Melinda and Laurie took turns stabbing Shanda in the chest. They then strangled her with rope until she was unconscious and placed her in the trunk of the car.
It's also really hard, well, from what I've heard, is to strangle someone. Like, you need to use a lot of force to do that. And they are, like, the girls. So they must have, like...
But also because they're young, easy to go unconscious, potentially. I don't know anything about that sort of thing. Obviously, because I'm not a crazy person. So they got back in the car, they drove back to Laurie's house, and they went inside, drank soda, and went to clean themselves up. So they're feeling fine at this point.
And sorry, so she's dead in the boot?
She's unconscious in the boot. She's not dead. She's unconscious.
But they stabbed her in the chest?
But with a dull knife. So she's not dead.
Yeah, but it's still a knife, though.
Yeah, but she's not dead. She's unconscious at this point. When they hear Shanda screaming in the trunk, Laurie went out with a paring knife and stabbed her several more times. So she came back a few minutes later covered with blood, and after she washed again, she was telling the girls' futures with like rhinestones, like, oh, your future's going to be this. So they do not give a shit at this point. They're drinking soda, they're saying their horoscopes, what they're doing. Messed up. Hope and Tony then stayed behind, and Melinda and Laurie went on a drive with Shanda still in the car. Shanda continued to cry and make gurgling noises, so they stopped the car. So I think they thought she was dead. She's not dead. So they stopped the car, and when they opened the truck, Shanda sat up, covered in blood with her eyes rolled back of her head. She wasn't able to speak, and Laurie beat her with a tire iron until she was silent, claiming that she felt Shanda's head cave in and then told Melinda to smell it. So they are just laughing about this.
They just have like zero sensitivity. They've just crushed a skull.
Yeah. She's like, spoiler alert, she's still not dead.
Oh,
This girl's still alive.
fucking poor girl.
She's 12, man.
They also assault her with that weapon
Are you
for
joking?
several hours. But
The tire iron.
for several hours, they keep going through this like joyride in the countryside
And then beat her.
and assault her.
Assault her
with
with the tire iron.
What the
Fucking, you'd wish you were dead at this point, man. You'd wish you were
Right.
dead.
They then go back home. They woke up the other two girls and they were laughing while they're describing all this torture. Laurie then went to drive the girls home, and Hope opened the trunk and sprayed Shanda with Windex, saying, "Oh, you're not looking so good now, are you?" So these girls are just fucked.
She's still alive.
She's still alive. So the girls wrapped Shanda, who was still alive, in a blanket, carried her to a field. Hope poured gasoline on Shanda and set her on fire. Melinda was not convinced she was dead, so they came back and put more gasoline on her. So she was burnt alive. The
She
girls
was alive.
She was like the whole time. I'm like trembling, and I've read the story. I'm trembling. It's so.
How
fucked
do they
up.
like have no?
No remorse?
There's no,
nothing.
it's not even that, but just like any sort of moral breaks, or like none of them go like, oh, maybe what we're doing is wrong, or should we be doing this?
Because they're egging on each other, innit? They're egging on each other with their weird
There's
bullshit.
always a weak link though.
Well, I'm not being funny, but you said, I mean, at the beginning you said the other two were lesser, but Hope pouring gasoline and setting her on fire, that ain't lesser.
So yeah, so interesting during this, the two girls, are Hope and Tony, were like, enough, and they just sat in the car, and then they obviously, I don't know what happened, they got bored, and then they came out and got involved. So there was a part where you thought, okay, maybe they're remorseful, and then they just weren't. After this happened, she's now definitely dead. Yeah, she's been burnt alive. The girls went to McDonald's for breakfast, where they laughed about Shanda being burnt so badly she looked like one of the sausages they were eating.
No words.
I'm fucked.
Fucked, right?
I said I'm
Fucked.
fucked.
I know.
You've just killed someone.
Not just a killing. It's not just a killing. They didn't just kill her.
They did everything.
Fuck me, man. That poor
In the worst way.
Oh, hell, that poor girl.
And they're only like fucking teenagers. And you would think, like we were talking just in general, and we were like, men and women committing crimes. These are fucking teenage girls.
And I think this is the crime.
And
this is crime the worst way.
And
This is
they're doing
horrible.
probably worse what some like men did that we've probably covered.
I read this thinking it's like the worst case I've ever seen. Obviously, the body was found. Obviously, it was found on the side. Some men found him. So that's sort of like the end of the story. I'm just going to go into like the process of what happened. So all 4 girls were charged as adults, which I think is great.
How did they know that it was them?
As in the girls.
The girls, how did they know who did it?
So, quick time. Listen to how fucked up this is. So, you know I told you they went to McDonald's? They were calling their friends, telling them, look what I've done, look what we've done. So they were really proud of this. They also...
That's rule number 1.
Melinda brought Amanda to the car and was showing her the bloodstains. So, like, obviously it went to the police, but they were really proud of it. Obviously, also remember that this is in the middle of the night. It's now the morning. The parents have gone, where's my child? My child was at home. Where's my child now? So very quickly they got involved.
Why is Amanda going next to this Melinda chick after she fucking threatened her girlfriend?
Well, I don't know the ins and outs, but it's not Amanda's fault anyway. So obviously they were charged as adults. To avoid the death penalty, the girls accepted a plea bargain. And again, I just want to go back to, I know it doesn't justify it, but obviously this case is super fucked up. But their childhoods were also really fucked up. And I think this is where, like, you know, being a bad parent is not just in the moment, it's forever, and can really damage somebody. Because you wouldn't get these ideas if you weren't brought up to this fucked up environment.
I think the girls were just desensitized. And I think that's probably like the big part of it where, like I was saying earlier, they just had no sense of like, this is bad, this is wrong, this is actually beyond cruel, this is fucked up. Maybe we should stop. I think that because they were so desensitized to what's right and wrong.
I think they loved it. It's just their way that it
because they grew up with violence, right? So they grew up with people being punished. They grew up with seeing violence and bad behavior. So they were desensitized to it, thinking like, but it's okay. That's all I've seen. That's what I grew up with. So they like, if I would see like blood or someone fucking stabbing someone in front of me, I think I'll genuinely probably pass out. Whereas they're just like, oh, it's a Tuesday.
I just don't think it. You know, especially if it's not. You know, we're not talking early times. You know right from wrong.
Okay.
You were molested when you were younger. You know how that felt, but then you went and molested a girl with a tire iron. No, man. You know right from wrong.
There's no justification.
There's no justification.
I just think parents need to fucking step up.
Also, why are you letting your child out at midnight? Where's these parents when their child is out at midnight?
At this point. So like you're 17, got a car.
I'm talking about the Tony and the whatever her name is.
15. So anyway, so Melinda, who's basically described the ringleader in the attack, obviously she had the most extensive history of abuse and mental health issues. Not that it makes any different, I'm just clarifying. So Melinda and Laurie were sentenced to 60 years in prison. And same basically for the other girls was 60 years in prison. Tony was released after serving 9 years.
Tony, if I'm right in the story that you told, Tony didn't actually partake in any of the...
She just never stopped it.
Not as much.
And I also think this girl took plea deals. Honestly, I actually like struggling here so hard.
Also, 9 years for killing someone.
I think
they all snitched on each other and told each other like more details.
But it still doesn't matter because you knew what was happening. You were in the car. You took her. Whether you dealt the final blow or not, it doesn't matter.
For sure.
You're an accomplice. You were there. You one of the murderers.
I can't. How you spend your final hours like that?
I know.
It's not right.
No.
9 years.
I wouldn't wish that on anyone else. That's
what I'm saying. 9 years is nothing for what you've done.
So Hope and Tony was both 9 years. There was supervised parole, but
didn't Hope pour gasoline on
her? Hope set her on fire.
She set her on fire.
Yeah.
So technically, she that was the last blow. She technically, if you had to be technical, killed her.
So if I'm pretty sure if I'm right, I think Hope there was basically a case where she appealed because something in her law proceedings wasn't right. She signed something and she didn't have a parent guardian with her. So I think her sentence got reduced down. Anyway, Laurie and Melinda both did nearly 26 years. Melinda did just over 26 years. They are all out now.
Fucking hell.
Which I find really crazy.
This is why capital punishment and fucking boxers. Also, that should have been there because they avoided death penalty, right? So because they took plea deals. So they could have been injected.
I don't give a fuck if you plea or not. Not after that. Like, it's not even a straight killing. It's not even we're talking like torture.
Let me tell you what, in my head, the hardest bit of the whole thing, this made me bawl. So, obviously, the most horrendous crime has been committed. There's no words that we can say ever about this. It's totally fucked up. Shanda's father died of alcoholism, basically turned into an alcoholic. The wife, she basically said that the father was so distraught by her daughter's murder that he did everything he could to kill himself, beside putting a gun to his head. And he basically drank himself to death and he died of a broken heart. And that hurts myself. In 2012, the mother of Shanda created this charity and worked on lots of different charities and made contact with Melinda Loveless and basically messaged indirectly, not through the courts. She donated a dog named Angel in Shanda's name to Melinda.
Huh?
To train for an Indiana Canine Assistance Network program through Project Hill, which basically provides service pet to people with disabilities. And Melinda trained those dogs for the program for several years. Her mum...
No, pause.
So this will make sense. Let me finish. It will come. So her mum obviously reported that she had loads of criticism saying, I can't believe, why would you ever do this? This daughter did this to your daughter. But her mum defends it and says, it's my choice to make. Shanda was my child. if you don't let good things come from bad things, nothing gets better. And I know what my child would want, and my child would want this. And I think that's really sad. That the mum, after all this, is a good...
So Melinda was dog training.
Yeah.
Therefore, Shanda's mum donated a dog for Melinda to train.
Named Angel after Shanda. And that is the story of her.
No, sorry, no.
No, I'm not.
So Melinda's at, what do these people, why, let me start again. Let me rewind. 1, why the fuck is someone so fucking clearly dangerous allowed back into society? 2, why the hell do you get to live out your blessed life?
Go dog training.
Dog training with the most precious animals after you did such a dirty deed? No, sorry, they should be dead. They should be dead like any other adult. Plea deal, no plea deal, dead. Straight. This is where we talk about this death penalty stuff. Like, honestly, I actually can't. There's no. Why the fuck are you out of prison? You're a danger. You're a danger to society.
Only
you
26 years as well.
Fucked up that girl because she was with your ex-bird.
I find it crazy.
And you're 16. It's not the end of the world.
Oh,
get a grip and get over it.
They
Fucking
were
honestly.
charged as adults, so I totally agree. Like,
why the fuck are you out?
You're being charged as adults, and this seems really like what I think the mum is a total angel, and she
obviously
is trying to create good things. But yeah, like I can't believe these people are out and walking around these streets. And I get it, they're young, but like I don't give a shit. I was 13, 14. I think no matter what you've gone through, nothing justifies brutal, violent, nasty shit like that.
I'm fuming.
So have they ever like answered for themselves as
Yeah.
adults?
I think there is. So I know one when I think it was Melinda. I think she went on a podcast. I don't know for sure, but there is stuff you can definitely read. There's a lot of things that's been made out from this and interviews. So yeah.
Why would you allow a murderer on a podcast?
Why would you allow them out of jail?
First of all. But like, why would you allow them a platform to then go and fucking speak about anything? You should be dead.
But this is, I think, I think we've had this conversation where, like, we are also really bad for this. We talk true crime in an entertainment form in the most fun. And I know I'm saying that being a total hypocrite. I know that. Same with like all these people. Then they interview them in prison. Yeah. You hype them.
Yeah, it's like more curiosity.
It's like like we help them. It's super fucked up. But yeah, that is.
No, I don't like this story. I like it because obviously it's a good one, yeah. But I don't like it because I like when we go through true crime stories and then I hear like a justice ending, you know, like they got caught, they're in prison, but the rest of their life rotting like crackheads.
Or like some laws or something came out of it. Change came out of it. This bitch is dog training.
This is not good Christmas spirit.
And I'm so
nothing good came out of this apart from a beautiful dog called Angel got trained.
And this is why I don't host.
Fuming.
Banned. Never let her host again.
I can't. What do you know? What happened with the other girls? So everyone's out now, but everyone is out.
I don't know what they're doing now.
Oh hell.
So yeah, that is.
So she was 17 when she went to prison, and then she served 26. So she was out in her 40s.
She was 43.
Still got like more than half your life ahead of you.
You don't deserve life.
But then you killed someone.
No, not even just killing. Gab, it wasn't even just the killing. Fucking hell.
It was
everything. That's what I swear to God. Knives. You talk about beatings. We're talking about sexual assault. You burnt her alive. This poor girl. What the fuck?
Out.
This is your last hours of your life, and you're literally
petrified.
Yeah.
But this is what I'm trying to say. The mum, who obviously was in court trials, would have heard horrendous details, and to come out with, what bad.
Which was obviously was still years and years, like 26 years later.
But you'd never.
Oh yeah, of course. But I think that probably is part of grief, where anger also makes you a bad person. So I think at a certain point you just had to let go of this anger and be like, let me make something better out of this.
You've got to be a saint angel.
Honestly,
great for her. But yeah, I honestly hope all these girls die a horrible death.
Public stoning.
Yeah, like, I don't care how many years you've served. You should be allowed to walk on the earth. And also, in my head, you've murdered that dad.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a double murder.
Yeah.
Anyway, Good first solo story. Fucking hell.
I know.
Fucked, I'm really sorry.
It's okay.
So yeah, Merry Christmas.
And
Merry
next
Christmas.
episode will be New Year. We'll see you in the new year. See you next year.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.